Hey guys, today's episode is the silent killer of scale. Why your culture needs an upgrade. Now, welcome to Scaling Without Screaming. I'm your host, Catherine, the podcast that's dedicated to helping you grow your business substantially, thoughtfully, and yes, without all the internal chaos that often comes with expansion. Now, I've seen it firsthand how the dream of scaling can quickly turn into a nightmare if you neglect one crucial element, and it is your company's culture. As a Lean Six Sigma green belt and a CEO twice, I've seen firsthand the power of streamlined processes and efficient systems that grows companies. But I've also learned and seen that even the most brilliant strategies can crumble in an instant without a strong foundation of company culture. That's why I believe that applying lean principles, not just to your operations, but also to your people and your culture. It's the key to truly scaling without screaming. So give it a moment and I want you to think about this. You've got your strategies in place. Maybe you're securing funding for an expansion and the market demand is there. Everything looks good, like it's about ready to take off. But beneath the surface, something lurks. You think about it. Are cracks forming? Are you noticing more friction within your teams? Is that internal spark and enthusiasm starting to dim? If so, chances are your company culture might be the silent killer that's sabotaging your scaling efforts. We often focus on tangible aspects of growth, numbers, processes, and technology. And yes, those are undoubtedly important. But what fuels all of that? The engine that drives your team, fosters innovation, and ultimately delights your customers. And that is your company's culture. When your company values start to feel less like guiding principles and more like a dusty plaque on the wall, or when hiring starts becoming frantic, leaving you wondering where all the good talent went. And what about the office grapevine? It's buzzing with negativity, fueled by uncertain and poor communications. These aren't just minor annoyances. They're symptoms of a potentially toxic or misaligned culture. And while they might seem like isolated incidences, they act like termites that are slowly weakening the very culture you're trying to build. So today, let's break down why a struggling culture is so detrimental to your scaling. And let's begin with what I call the talent drain. Top talent has options. And they are not just looking for a paycheck. They're looking for a place where they feel valued, respected, and aligned with the company's mission. A weak or negative culture is a huge red flag. It leads to higher turnover, which is incredibly costly to your company, and recruitment, training, and loss of productivity. All things that your company can ill afford when trying to scale. And that feeling the oh my God, another resignation, your culture is most likely the major contributing factor to that. Okay, here's another one. Think about your engagement. I call it the engagement cliff. Engaged employees are your biggest advocates and your most productive assets. A poor culture breeds disengagement. When people don't feel connected to the company or its purpose or feel unsupported, their motivation plummets. I've seen it firsthand. This directly will impact the quality of your work, your innovation, and your ability to meet the demands of a growing business. Disengaged employees aren't just less productive, they can actively hinder your progress. One of the biggest things that I am a huge advocate for is another part, and it's called communication. And a lot of companies have a communication breakdown, and this fuels the rumor mill. In a struggling culture, clear and transparent communication often takes a back seat. This void gets filled by speculation, gossips, and the dreaded rumor mill. This creates anxiety, distrust, and silos within your organization, making effective collaboration essential for scaling nearly impossible. Trying to make strategic decisions when your team is operating in a fog of misinformation is a huge recipe for disaster. Yeah, I use huge a lot because it's true. It's huge. They're big. Your company won't scale with all this. And here's something that hurts most companies. Have you ever seen the customer disconnect? Here's the tough truth. Your internal culture will bleed into your external interactions. If your employees are unhappy or disengaged, it will likely reflect in their interactions with customers, the quality of your products, and your overall brand experience. Customers are very perspective. They see all sides of that box. They can sense when a company's internal environment is struggling, and it will impact their loyalty to that company. The innovation bottleneck, a culture of blame, fear, or lack of psychological safety, stifles creativity and risk-taking. Scaling requires lots of innovation, new ideas, new approaches, and the willingness to experiment. Yes, there will be failures, but you also will have wins. Now, if your employees are afraid to speak up or try new things, your growth will inadvertently plateau. Now, there is good news to all this. These aren't insurmountable problems. They're very fixable. And the first thing you need to do is recognize that your culture needs an upgrade. It is the first and most crucial step into growing a profitable business. It shows a commitment to building a better, more sustainable future for your company and your employees. Now, in my next episode, I will start digging into the what. What exactly needs to be addressed and updated within your company's culture. We will talk about revisiting your core values and getting a real understanding of your current cultural landscape. So don't let a struggling company culture be the silent killer of your scaling dreams. By addressing it head on, you can build a resilient, engaged, and ultimately successful business. Thanks so much for tuning in to Scaling Without Screaming. Join me next time as I take the next step on this crucial scaling journey. Let's build a business that thrives, not just survives. I'm your host, Catherine. There's a new episode every Wednesday at 7 a.m. Have an incredible day. Bye.